general you don't see that. These recordings are also going to be posted on YouTube because we opened a YouTube channel called Freedom Media. So you can subscribe that and then rewatch it or send it out to other people who are interested in this video. Who is my co-host? Tony?
Yes, I think so. No problem. I can help you.
Can you let the people in, please? Because I keep on looking and let the people in. If you could do that, that would be nice. Thank you. All right, I'm going to share my screen now so you can see what we are talking about. Whoop. This is what we need. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box and we will answer all of them later. But now I'm giving you the big overview. So thank you for taking the time and welcome to tonight. We are Freedom Group, and we are a marketing and consultancy company based in several countries, in USA, in Norway, in Spain, in North Cyprus, and in Dubai since recently. And our aim is to help people to create their perfect lifestyle in the sun. And we are doing that by actually connecting people all over the world, buyers who are interested in properties, to the developers here on the island in North Cyprus. And many people don't really know much about the island North Cyprus. They don't even know sometimes that the island Cyprus has two parts, North Cyprus. So we want to welcome you and give you the experience as much as possible, that you get an impression about the island. And this is really a hidden gem on the planet. I have to say that, as Theo just mentioned it, I live here. I moved here in August with my daughter. And interesting to know, I was living in Egypt for 5 years. And then I moved back to Germany because I thought it's a good idea regarding my daughter's schools. Well, that was not true, because she was going to a private international school in Germany as well. But since that time, I was looking for a place on this world where I can have both, you know, the European modern side, but also the Oriental traditional side, until I found North Cyprus about 3 years ago. And I'm super happy that I'm living here now with my daughter. She goes to school still here. And I want to tell you more about that. This is the island itself. And you can see in the middle, there is a border. The island is divided in two parts, in the south part, which is the Greek part, and in the north part, which is the Turkish part. In general, this border is easily to cross. You can go back and forth as you like. People work on each side. Now, due to COVID, like everywhere in the world, well, the borders are open, they're closed, or you need a PCR test. So, but in general, it's very, very open. Interesting to know is that the whole island is on European land. Only the south is recognized by Europe. The north is recognized by Turkey. Nevertheless, the north receives fundings from Europe and from Turkey. It is also an independent state because we have our own president on the island. And politically, very, very stable. This is what people ask a lot. What you can see here as well is those blue dots. Where you see the blue dots, this is where we have developers, where we are cooperating with. And here as well, but you will see that later, because this is Bill and Eurocost, the developer who is on the call tonight. We have a city here. It's called Girne, and there are around 80,000 people living. We have another big city here. Where did my cursor go? Here, Nicosia. Nice about Nicosia is, and because it's divided in two parts. The border of the country goes through Nicosia, and you see it in the old town. There is a border crossing in the old town where you need your passport to cross. Normally, as I said, possible. Now, no, but then you have the old town, and the further, the bigger the city grows, the more modern it gets to the outside. When we talk about properties, then here we have an area called Esentepe and Barcelli. In this area, it is not allowed to build anything closer to the sea than 100 meters and not anything higher than 2 stories in order to protect the nature. Cypriot people are very protective about their nature, and I think this is a very nice thing to have, a very nice regulation to have. Also, when they make a construction and the project, when they come up with something, they have to keep around 30% green areas, green land, where you cannot build on. And that's all in order to protect the nature. Here on the East Coast, we have Iskele and Famagusta. On this side is beautiful, beautiful sandy beaches, but there you're also allowed to build really high buildings. Currently, there is something going to be built with 31 stories, so you can imagine the views from there. So it's two completely different areas, but both are stunning in their own ways. What else can I tell you about that? We have an airport here. It's called Ercan, and all the flights go to Ercan via Istanbul. This is especially for green passport holders important to know, because as the south part is Europe and the north part is not Europe, that's important to know that when you're a green passport holder, you need a visa to travel, and you always come via Istanbul and then fly to Ercan. Now, due to COVID, we also recommend everyone, if they fly here, to come via Istanbul. Nevertheless, we have another two airports, one here in Larnaca on the south and another one on this side in Paphos. You can imagine the driving from Larnaca up to the north coast is around 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30, depending on where exactly you go. And from Ercan airport, you have 30, 40 minutes or 40, 50 minutes to the east coast, always depending on where exactly you go. What I like about the island a lot is there is along the coast, we have several turtle bays and beaches, and they actually come here once a year to lay their eggs. And then about 40 days, I think later, you have many, many hundreds of baby turtles hatching and going in the sea, and you have students or locals here to support that. So it's really wonderful to watch that. Another really nice thing is that up here, the area is called Di Carpas, and that's like a natural protectorate. There's nothing built there, and you can go there for camping, but there's actually nothing. The only fun thing is when you go there, it's there's like a natural border. You have wild donkeys there, and you have to bring apples and carrots that they let you pass there. Here we have a lake over there where you find flamingos. You also find flamingos here every now and then. I saw them a few weeks ago and I just love that. They are really nice. Special about North Cyprus is when you here along, we have mountains. It's like a full line of mountains all the way along. So it's very special that all the properties have a sea view and a mountain view. Let me tell you some more facts about the island. North Cyprus, Cyprus in general, is also the third largest island in the Mediterranean. The population in general is 350,000 people, so not too many. But when there is high season and no COVID, we have over more than 1.2 million people on the island. The country is multi-everything. It has a lot of culture here on the island. You have to imagine that the island was, over the last thousands of years, occupied by several colonies, especially the British colony. That's why we are driving on the left side, and the plugs are like in England. And also the law leans pretty much towards the English law. You find many chapels and churches here, a lot of history. We find a lot of different languages here. Of course, the main language is Turkish. I cannot speak Turkish. I have maximum 10 words. So English is perfectly fine, but there are many nationalities living on this island as well. In general, the currency here is Turkish lira, but also British pound, US dollars, and euros are absolutely accepted everywhere. The property prices are always in British pound. That's why British pound is far more stable than the Turkish lira. It's also multi-religious. That also comes from this colonies who used to be here over the last thousands of years. So you find many different religions on this island, and everything is absolutely accepted. And as I said before, I used to live in Egypt. That's a pretty two-religion country. Here we have all religions you can imagine. That is very relaxing, I have to say, and very open. The country is very open. The people are extremely friendly. The biggest benefit for me, because I love the sun, is that we have over 320 days of sunshine here all the time, every year. We had 2 days ago in the morning, we had hail, and I was like, oh my God. And now the weather turned. I thought it's going to stay like this all day as I'm used to, but it didn't. It took 3 hours, and then we had sunshine the rest of the day. So I was very happy about that as well. And a big plus for the island is that it's an extremely safe country. I always say that where we used to live in Germany, my daughter had to be at home when the sun was going down. She was not allowed to take the bus by herself, especially when it's dark. And it was not really safe. You don't go in the streets as a woman alone. Here, I don't lock my car. I don't lock my house. Even when I drive in the city, there is no need to lock your car because it's such a safe place. When my daughter, she made a couple of friends here and they go to the beach and they sleep at the beach, I don't have to worry because I know nothing is going to happen. And that's a very, very big advantage, especially as a parent. But I can tell and talk a lot about that. I have a small video and a small movie, so please watch that because it's going to give you a better impression about the island. Yes, I think this gives you a really nice impression about the island, especially about the diversity between the really um, grounded and nature, what we have here, but also the very, very modern things. But we're here to talk about properties, and I want to give you some inputs why it is a nice thing to invest in, why it's really worth doing that. So one thing is the hotels. We have over 300 hotels here on the island, and over 30 of them are five-star hotels, and they have everything there. They have casinos, they have bars, they have beach clubs, the spa facilities, the five-star restaurants, everything you can imagine. So that's very uplifting for the market. And when you look at the at the hotel down there, it's called Kratos. This is where I used to go with a friend of mine a few weeks back, and you saw it in the movie as well. Most of the hotels, they have these cabanas along the coast, along the beach, and you can book them for yourself privately. And we did that, and we've been 8 people, and we booked a cabana for ourselves. We had the kids with us, and we had our private jacuzzi, our private waiter. We all had drinks and food and private access to the beach. The kids were on the jet skis all day long. And at the end of the day, the bill for all of us together was £80, which is like $100. So that's the value you get here for the service you have for the money you pay is really outstanding and very, very worth going here. We even have deals with some hotels that you have this all-inclusive day passes. So you spend the whole day there and have a fantastic time for a fraction of the price than in most other countries of this world. Now it got stuck because I let someone in. The second big factor here on the island is health. The health tourism here on the island is growing more and more. There are specialized and private hospitals on the island, and the standard is very high. It's popular for IVF, for example. It's very popular for dental treatments, eye surgeries, cosmetic surgeries, all these kind of things, but also for full health checkups. This is also something what Freedom does. We have cooperations with some of the clinics. So you can go there and do your complete health checkup. They check you from top to bottom, your blood, your hormones, your everything you have inside of you with ultrasound and x-ray, and you get the full report. And also this is a fraction of the price as what you normally pay in your own country at home. That's why this is so popular and the market is growing rapidly. And the third big factor is the education. At the moment, we have 100,000 students on the island, and it's expected that in around 5 years, this number is going to double. All of them need places to live, of course. At the moment, we have 17 existing universities and 8 more are planned. There is the amount for studying here is the cost for studying is between 2,000 to 7,000 euro. It depends on which university and what subjects you're going to study, but that's pretty affordable. We also have private schools here, starting from preschool up to college. So this is a huge, huge market, the universities and the students coming here. Parents are happy to send their children here because it is such a safe country. So they feel comfortable when the kids come here. They live here either in a living, how do you call that? Is it called a community where the students live together, or in their own flat? They don't have to be worried because there's almost no crime on the island. We still have people coming in. Tony, can you please manage that? Thank you. So what we do as Freedom is we take care of you. We want you to experience the lifestyle. It is really a different lifestyle. It's a different energy on the island. It's a different experience you have, and we want you to feel that. The other thing what we want is that we have the exclusive projects for you and the best properties here on the island. We are also introducing you to the best developers. One of them is on the call tonight, and I'm really happy that you can listen to him. We as Freedom are also the biggest marketer on the island, which gives us the power to negotiate the most exclusive prices and payment terms for you. We give you independent lawyers on your side, which will give you advice and take care of you, that everything goes in the correct way. And of course, we have an international network, and which gives you, once you come here and you meet people from all around the world, a chance as well to connect with them and to grow the business you are maybe having already. So it's a really nice community which we are having here. When we talk about best investment opportunities for you, we check about the locations and the views. As I said before, that the mountain view and the sea view is there. We check what kind of facilities are there. Are there restaurants, spas, shopping facilities? This is important that you're taking care of. Are the designs from the development up to date and modern and matching with our clientele? Is the building quality really, really high? That's an important factor for us. And also our clients want to know that the short-term rental return is really worth investing in the property. So we as Freedom, we want you to get a lot of value for your money, of course. And when we talk about prices and payment plans, that's where it's getting interesting. We have a square meter price starting from £650, which is really low, and up there is of course no limit depending on where and what you want. The off buying process has the biggest growth on the capital. We have off-plan projects which are under construction, and key ready projects. And I'll explain you the difference. An off-plan project is not built yet. That means the paperwork is ready, everything is registered, they have a building permission, and all the architectural work is with the 3D, everything is made. So it's good to start, but it did not start yet. That's when there is the cheapest and lowest price. Once they start constructing, they build the foundation, the price goes up. When they make the skeleton of the house, the price goes up again. Once they build the roof and the windows, the price goes up again. And the last price increase is when it's actually key ready. But even then, when it's key ready, there is still, over the last 10, 15 years, the experience we are having, there is still a value increase of 5 to 7% every year. And this is something extraordinary. When we think about the prices as well, remember the island, the whole island Cyprus, the prices in the south, because this is Europe, are 3 to 4 times as high as the prices in the north. That's also something to consider, because sooner or later, the borders will soften. Like every country used to have a border, almost every country, and they are either disappeared or softened. So the prices from the south, they will reach the north eventually at a certain point, and then the prices will go up really, really high. But I will, Bill maybe can talk later a little bit more about that. He has a lot of knowledge about that. So I leave this with Bill. And when we talk about payment plans, that's interesting as well. The developers here on the island, which the ones we are cooperating with, they are very, very flexible. In general, they are interest-free up to 3 years, 2 to 3 years, depending on how long the construction period lasts. We also have loan options which reach up to 10 years from various banks, and the interest rates can be pretty interesting as well. Normally, when you buy something here, there's always something off plan. There is a reservation fee to pay. That makes sure that the property is locked at that price, at that day, and no one else can buy it. The reservation fee lasts for 4 weeks, and then you make a 30% down payment of the whole sales price. And then the rest, how you do the rest of the payment, this is what you negotiate with the developer, if it is construction stages, if it is quarterly, or if it is monthly, or if you want to have a loan for that, that's very, very flexible and negotiable. But the first thing is always the reservation fee in order to lock your price and to secure your property. At the moment, this reservation fee is refundable for 4 weeks. And I think this is a very nice thing to do, because due to COVID, people cannot travel. So this is something to give more security to the clients who are from abroad and who didn't travel here before, so they can ask more questions, and it gives a little bit more time as well. When we speak about capital growth and return of investment, in Germany, for example, there are many young couples who are now, they're married, they get children, and they want to have their own house. Very, very understandable. So what they do, they buy a land and they build a house, but they need a loan. And it's so much money they need that they have to pay that loan off over their lifetime. That means the children will get their loan, which is insane actually, because it doesn't make any sense in my head, especially. But here we have properties where you get your return on investment starting from 6 years. That's really something outstanding. Also, when you buy something off plan, during the construction stages, the value of your property already increases. There is no tax to pay on that gain, which is extremely interesting, I think. So there are really great investment opportunities here, and also very nice rental income opportunities, because most of the people do not live here full time, so they invest because they want to rent the property out. On average, we say you can rent out the property 150 to 200 days per year. We always go with the pessimistic numbers. This is what we want you to know, because we prefer to give you the low numbers that you can be on the safe side. We also say that the high season is from May till October. This is the summer season. But as you maybe have seen in the video, there is an international golf course here on the island, which is ranked place 46 in the world. So starting from October, when the weather cools down a little bit, we have the golfers coming to the island who also need to stay somewhere. There is, of course, low costs on and taxation on the income. And what the developers do is very nice. They have, of course, the full site maintenance and the property management, but they also offer the rental services. Everything you need in order to rent your property out can be taken care of if you want that to happen. They will, of course, they take care of the cleaning and they all the things around, but they will also pick up the guests from the airport. They will take a deposit and make the, how do you call it, the inventory, everything is taken care of. And the only thing you do is pay the fee for that and collect your rental income. And a 3-bedroom apartment in Essentepe, which is the North Coast, can give you, when we go with the low numbers, 150 days a year, can give you over £14,000 a year. That's a nice passive income on the side, I would say. What we do as well, of course, is everything needs to be legally protected. So we have independent lawyers who take care of you. So if you want to purchase something, we have several lawyers where we can introduce you to, and then this lawyer needs a written consent from you. It's called the POA, a power of attorney. So the lawyer can act on your behalf. So they will sign the contract on your behalf once you are happy with everything what is written in the contract. So it's a back and forth conversation with you and the lawyer. They will also register this contract at the land registry. And that's an important and different thing. And it's really important to know, because in most of the countries, the title deed is the most important deed you can have. Here in this country, in North Cyprus, it's the registration of the contract at the land registry, which is more important than the actual title deed. And what North Cyprus does, after 30% down payment of the whole sales price, they go and register the contract in your name. That means no one else can buy that. This is a high risk for the developer, but that's a very nice guarantee from the country actually to you that you are secured. But as I am not a lawyer, I will not talk too much about that. That's when we have the lawyers, and they will explain everything in detail to you when you're interested in that. What we have as well is a policy in Freedom. We have at the moment 7 developers we are cooperating with. There are many more, but we are pretty picky about that, because our developers, they have to be very trustworthy, successful, and high of quality. When we talk about successful, that means they have an experience in what they are doing. They build schools, they build universities or governmental buildings, they won awards, so they are really good at what they are doing. And we as Freedom, we also check their financial standings. We want them to be financially stable enough that they can finish a project without having one single unit sold. This is also protection for you. Or they have the collaterals to secure your property. That's very important for us. We also want to be sure about their business ethics, that they're really honest. And I can say that the developers we are cooperating with are in close contact with us and we know them. So everything is very fair, very open, very transparent. That's important for us as well. And we want them to be very reliable, that their customer service and their building standards are increasing all the time. We have many Scandinavian people in our network. Some of them are working in construction, and even they are sometimes impressed about the building quality, the materials they are using. This is something important.
Tapio.
Sorry?
Tapio.
Did someone, anyone, either you unmuted yourself by accident or do you have a question? All right, I think that was by accident. All right, and this is what we actually do. We do freedom tours when we don't have COVID. Now we are online, we like this as well. But of course, we would love you to be here. And when we create our tours, when we do our tours, we offer you 5 nights of free accommodation. And then you come over with your friends, with your family, with your business partners, and then you can stay here. And we give you a property tour. You will get all the information about the island you want. We show you the investment opportunities you're interested in, different developers, different projects. You also will meet a lawyer and get the presentation from a lawyer, when then you can ask all your questions. At the moment, all this is happening online, and it's working luckily really, really good, because people learned due to COVID on how to be online. But when we have our tours, this is really a lot of fun all the time. You can see it on the picture, because what we do is, depending on your interests, we take you to the harbor or on sunset cruises, or we take you up in the mountains. We make barbecues at the beach. We take you to the winery and picking the grapes, which you will see shortly. So there are so many things to do. And depending on your interests, once you decide to come here, of course, we know that previous to that. And then we arrange it to accordingly what you like to have. And that's what we normally do. But now, as we have COVID, we are still waiting for the travel restrictions to be lifted. I know that Europe is closing down more and more. London is already on lockdown, or England, half of it or a whole of it. Can't remember. I don't even want to know who is locking down all the time. I'm only waiting that everything opens up and we can travel freely. There is a rumor, and I don't know if it's a rumor, but there is something in the planning that we can have some little visitors here. At the moment, you can come for 72 hours, which is due to traveling really, I think, a little bit stressful, but maybe it's opening up for 5 days. That would be a nice option. And then it's very easy for people to come here and have a look at the properties by themselves. But until this is not confirmed, we stay online, and we are happy to see you at least once a week and show you everything online. And now I stop sharing my screen for a second, because tonight we have Bill on the call, Bill Hickey from Eurocoast, and he's going to show us a really nice project. Hi, Bill. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having us.
So Bill is going to show us a project called Vineyard View. And I have to say, from me and from all the Freedom Group, congratulations again, because they won a luxury award. And this is something very outstanding, but you can tell more about that. I will give you the permission now. Do you need the permission to share the screen, or Alex?
No, I think Alex needs the permission, actually, Andrea.
Okay, I will do this. Okay, so Alex is Bill's colleague. He will share the presentation, and Bill will explain everything about the project. And that is a different project. I can tell you, I love it a lot. So it's all yours, Bill.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and welcome everybody. Thank you to Freedom for allowing us to present our project to you. I'll give you a little bit of detail about who we are, first of all, so that you can place us in amongst things. We're a company called Eurocoast. We've been operating as constructors and developers in the TRNC for 18 years now. So far, we have completed 3,200 properties for happy customers. We've built everything from university accommodation to hospitals. to hotels, to a winery, other commercial projects, but we build a lot of the award-winning developments for other developers. It might be their name above the doors, but we were the ones who actually constructed it. In terms of that, we actually also do our own developments, where we obviously have full control over the position, the design, and everything else. In addition to being a property developer, we're also a tourism company, because we own a hotel. We own a hotel and a winery, so we produce wine. This led us to an inevitable conclusion that maybe we should have a development near to where our winery and our hotel is. Our hotel is very successful. We've been open for 2.5, 3 years now. As Andrea mentioned earlier, we've just been awarded in the World Luxury Hotel Awards. We were awarded the honour of being the best vineyard development in the world. So that sort of gives you an idea of what we do and why this development exists. This picture shows you the Gilham Vineyard Hotel, which is the hotel that the Vineyard View development, which we're going to talk about in a minute, actually sits next to. The Gilham Hotel is an adults-only 5-star luxury hotel. We have the good fortune to have very high rates of booking from people, and at a couple of points prior to COVID, we were actually running 100% occupancy rates. Now, this led us to the decision that maybe we need to expand the hotel. One of the benefits of having some land next to the hotel is that we thought we could build a development. And in building that development, maybe, just maybe, some of the owners would like to rent their units to us for the hotel. Because it's an adults-only hotel, we turn away a lot of guests who have children. Now, this is a large part of the market that the hotel doesn't cater for. The hotel has luxury facilities. It has a spa. It has an award-winning restaurant. We have an award-winning chef. We have a wine bar. We have a winery on site as well. We have about 15, 16 acres of vineyards. We host a jazz festival there every year. We are, we're very involved in the cultural aspects of North Cyprus and trying to promote it to a wider audience. Now, I'm going to show you, first thing we're going to show you is a video about the hotel, which will show you some of the facilities and the ethos of the hotel, which my colleague Alex will now run for you, I hope.
It's been all my time, chasing the sun, chasing the sun.
That shows you I think that the ethos behind the hotel, which is a luxury boutique hotel. It's not one of the earlier hotels that Andrea showed you, the big destination hotels. Ours is a different type of hotel to that. We feel that it's a much classier hotel, and the idea of the development next door to it, Vineyard View, is to add to that and to offer those facilities to a wider audience. If you just go back to that slide with the certificate for me, Alex. This is the World Luxury Awards, and as you can see, this was only last week. The Luxury Wine Estate Hotel, we were the global winner. As people who are potentially looking to invest, I think that should be very a badge of honor to you, that you should not discount too lightly as being a draw for the property that we're going to show you. You go to the next one, Alex. Right, so these are some features of the hotel, some stills. In the top left-hand shot is the wine bar and the winery. We produce our own wine there, which is what we sell at the hotel, and we actually sell that to various establishments around North Cyprus. As you can see, that the whole of the hotel is based around this premise of wine. So you have in the bottom right hand corner is the spa. We have a spa that uses some of the byproducts of the wine production process: grapes, grape seeds, grape skins, and grape pulp, for some beauty treatments, which I know a number of the Freedom people have actually had a go with. And the one thing that you can also have there, you can have a wine bath, which is literally bathing in the wine we produce. And apparently you can't stand there for more than a couple of hours though, because you can get drunk sitting in wine, which is something I never believed, but I hope one day to actually try that. Some further shots here of the accommodation at the hotel. The rooms are basically there are 2 rooms, one above each other in individual buildings along the edge of the vineyards. You have the restaurant there to the right hand side, and below that is the wine tasting rooms. So that is basically the Gilham Vineyard Hotel and the Ettal Winery. That is an introduction to basically what we are doing, which is Vineyard View. In essence, by the name, it overlooks or views the vineyards that we use to produce the wine. Do you want to move on to the next shot, Salah? Right, this is a short bit of aerial footage that shows the area that the winery sits in. As you can see, we're on the slopes of the mountain next to a village called Ilgaz, overlooking the Mediterranean. We're about 15 minutes, if that, from the centre of Kyrenia or Guinea, which is the main tourist town. If you can stop it there, Alex. As you can see, there's one vineyard. There's one vineyard there. In the middle, where Alex has put the pointer, is the site of where the Vineyard View is going to be. The hotel is just to the right of that. There you go, Alex, if you point out the hotel. It's perfectly placed. You are 15 minutes from the centre of Kyrenia. You are 5 minutes from possibly the best beach on the island, which is Escape Beach, and there's a beautiful beach club down there. The village itself, which I don't know if you can see from that still that Alex had there, but it's a small village called Ilgaz that we actually are based in. Ilgaz has actually been awarded a protection status by the EU, and is the recipient of a grant from the EU for its protection and renovation. It has a full-time community there of mainly artists. There are small bars and restaurants in the village, but you are down sort of on the main coastline. You're only 5 minutes from all facilities: shops, supermarkets, beaches, restaurants. If you want the hustle and bustle of Kyrenia and the nightlife, it's there for you. If you want a quiet to restore and relax, where we are positioned in the mountains is the perfect place for it. Here are some sort of shots of the local area. You have the top left hand is, I believe, is that Monte? What beach is that one, Alex? You have to unmute yourself. Next to it, you have Kyrenia Harbour. We'll find out what beach that was from Alex in a minute. You have Kyrenia Harbour. Whoops. And then down below, you have the Lapta Walkway, which is a new EU-funded project, which is actually a path that walks along the coastline.
It's Escape Beach, Bill.
Is that Escape Beach?
Yes.
It's so, I thought there was a ship in the background. Right, Escape Beach is probably one of the best beaches and one of the best facilities, and that's 5 minutes from where the Vineyard View is. The walkway which below is again about a 10-minute drive from the site of Vineyard View. So I hope I've sort of given you an idea of where the development is placed in North Cyprus. If we now turn towards the development, I think Alex has got the next slide for us. It's great when technology doesn't work, isn't it? We're just emphasising what a beautiful place the harbour is, and Escape Beach and the Lapta walkway. I'll carry on talking about this while Alex tries to sort that out. Oh, hello. The Vineyard View itself is a development of 40 apartments, 2-bedroom apartments. Here we go. Of 80 square metres each, set around the central facilities, which are basically a gymnasium, cafe, restaurant, a shop, a large pool, sunbathing decks, a play area, and other facilities meant for the owners of the units on the development. As you can see, we've tried to place them in a natural, organic sort of placement. So rather than being an ordered rows, they're following the contours of the land to basically to supply owners with the best possible views from each position, whether that be views along to the vineyards or views down the valley to the sea. Each property has a beautiful view from all parts of it, from you know, both front and rear, mountain views to the rear, coastal views to the front. As I say, the properties are you can see in this shot here there are 20 buildings. Each building contains 2 apartments, a ground floor and an upper floor. They're all 2 bedrooms. They're all, we measure them at 80 square meters. That's a real measurement. That's not, that's the usable floor area. They're actually slightly bigger than that, about 81, 82, but we underrate them at 80 square meters. In terms of the fit and finish, all of our buildings, we are renowned amongst the island. We're a Class 1 builder. We're renowned amongst these sort of development communities being the builders of the best quality projects. Our projects are built with a certain amount of a certain integrity that others might not be. This integrity goes through to also to the design process as well. We design things that fit in the environment. They sit in the environment happily and don't look out of place. The area, as you saw from the drone shots, is actually a very natural, beautiful area, and we want to protect and enhance that, not draw from it. So the buildings are they're basically going to replicate the hotel style rooms, so the one above the other configuration in separate buildings that have space between them, so it doesn't feel crowded. It won't feel like a normal apartment development, because they're all low level. It's 2-story maximum development. They're set on different elevations. In terms of the elevation drops from the front to the rear, it's about 8 or 9 meters. So the units at the very back at the top, I think in position 1, for instance, will look over the roofs of blocks 6, 7 and 8. So everyone will have a view. But it's this organic, natural development. The walkways are stone clad, so they're cobbled stones. The walls are stone walls. There'll be step terraces that we will plant with some vines, some little sort of display vines, and greenery, and we're going to retain all the mature trees that are on the site. I know a few people who, from the Freedom team have already been up there because we've already started clearing the site and beginning construction, and they were quite amazed at the amount of trees that we've retained. It's, you know, it's purely to retain some of the beauty, the natural beauty of the site, before we start construction, because it's very hard to put the trees back in afterwards. I don't know if you want to move to the film. Is it next, Alex? Oh, the on-site facilities. Just quickly, I'll say, just reiterate about the on-site facilities that we've got. As you can see, this is an artist's impression of the facilities. So it has a central pool, a restaurant, a cafe, gymnasium, play area. You can't see it in this shot, but behind here is the shop. Every, in terms of a development, part of the planning process here, you have to have a parking space for each development. So we've got very discrete parking areas, so that everything's hidden away, and to retain the natural beauty of the area that in which we are. I think we can go on to the next one now, Alex. We will get the technical hitches fixed for next time. Right, so the Vineyard View, part of the sort of heavy introduction at the beginning about the hotel is that because its location basically next door to the hotel, we've decided that the hotel will run the facilities at the development. So basically the swimming pool, the restaurants and the cafes and the shop will be run by a 5-star hotel. Now, also as part of that, because of our requirement for additional property for the hotel, if you decided to buy one of these units and you wanted us to rent the unit from you, we will book guests via the hotel booking system. It makes perfect sense for us to do that because we have an existing hotel that, you know, pre-COVID times was oversubscribed. Now we can meet that market, and we can also offer it to a wider market and to include families. We'll now go to show you some inside shots of the properties, as long as Alex can bring it along. Part of the offer that we're doing for the Freedom members is that we will also offer membership of the Ettal Winery Club, which will give discounts and access to the facilities of the hotel. So you have spas, the restaurants, the wine bar, and other facilities that we have there will be available to members of the. Hi. I'll answer your questions at the end, Blessings, if we leave all the questions till the end. These are some of the management service that we'll offer. As I said, we'll offer the hotel's booking service. So the rental management will be done via the hotel. So their check-in and check-out service will extend to the units at Vineyard View. The laundry, the housekeeping and repair services will be run by the hotel as well. So unlike a lot of places, you'll have a 24-hour on-site answering service and laundry service. The Gilham Hotel Elite membership, the Ettal membership, that will become as part of the Freedom package that we will offer. Bill payments, obviously, if we're going to rent the unit from you, we will arrange for the bills to be paid as well. Oh, sorry, I just got to move the airport transfers and taxis. All the facilities of the 5-star hotel will be offered to the owners and any guests at Vineyard View. There's an exclusive pre-launch pricing offer that Freedom bullied with us. At the moment, Freedom have an exclusive access to this development. We've worked with Freedom for a while now, and we realised that they were probably the most professional in terms of representation of what we do. And we're very, very picky about who we will work with. As part of our sort of discussions about them offering Vineyard View, we decided that they would have access to a pricing scale to encourage their members to buy them at a very advantageous prices, shall we say. The release prices that we were talking, or we will do once we release it to the open market, are now going to be about £140,000 per unit. We agreed with Freedom at the beginning that we would offer it that they could offer it for 120,000, and we're going to maintain that. We'll also, for Freedom customers as well, there's a bit of an enhanced package, which is for the aircon and white goods to be included as well, which on the other pricing and when it's generally released, these will be extras. So you've got a bit of a head start on the reductions that we will offer to Freedom customers. I don't know if you want to go to the next one for me, Alex. Right, internally. If you were here, or if you were in the industry, you would know that we are renowned for our design. We have won the building and the property awards on many occasions for not only for our quality of our build, but also for our designs. Light, airy, luxurious. This is what you've got to think of in terms of these apartments. They're 80 square meters, so they're quite generous in terms of sizing. They're 2 bedrooms. The idea of big picture windows, because you've got such beautiful views up in the mountains there, you want light to flood in, and this is what we're doing with these ones. Full size, full height windows, high ceilings, big open plan rooms to make if it's for your own use, a beautiful place to be. But if it's as a rental apartment or being offered for rental by the hotel, this will be a super luxurious destination for renters. In terms of our figures, I think we base this. Andrea said about being conservative. At the moment, the hotel, I think that the rates per night are from 140 euros upwards, depending on what room it is. But this is a single hotel room for 2. Now we're talking about apartments, 2-bedroom apartments. So effectively, the cost of 2 rooms. For pricing, we were very conservative, and we've priced for our pricing scales at £100 per day, just to give you an idea of the returns that can be achieved. Now, on the pre-launch price of 120,000, if we just looked at 40% occupancy, you're looking at a net return of about 8.5%. This is after taxation and after management costs. If we're talking about the 140,000 and the actual, the actual rate, I would say, is about 150, then obviously you're looking at figures of 20,000 and 14,000 as your net returns being in 12-13%. These are, as I said, these are conservative figures in a post-COVID environment. At the moment, obviously that no one can travel, so our hotel is running on local people coming and staying there for weekends, and the restaurant being open at the weekends. When the world opens up again, I think you'll find there will be a great demand for smaller occupancy hotels and developments. I think that people will be looking more away from the big super hotels of 1,000 rooms plus onto smaller boutique style properties. And I think that we are perfectly poised to take full advantage of that, especially with this new development. Next one, please, Alex. What do we? Have we got the film, the Vineyard View film?
Bill, it's finished, Bill.
No, have you got the Vineyard View film? Well, while Alex tries to locate the film, basically that's the premise of what we're doing, where we're doing it, and why we're doing it. Blessings had a question there about the daily rentals. In answer to that question, Blessings, it's we've based the figures on 100, but I think realistically you've got to look at 120, 140, 160, because that's the rate we're achieving at the hotel with one room. If you're talking about a 2-bedroom property, I don't think it's beyond the reason to actually assume a higher rate of about 150 per day. I hope that answers your question. Do we have any questions from anybody else?
So, until Alex is trying to find the movie, please feel free. You can unmute yourself and ask Bill any question you have regarding that property, because this is really in a super nice location, and especially knowing already that you need the space to rent out, that's almost like a guarantee that you will get the rental income, which is something really impressive.
That's the thing. A lot of people can sort of quote, being easy to rent as, we've actually got a hotel, a working hotel there already that it's been running for 2 years. There's won awards. It's actually a destination hotel. So we know that we have the market for it already. And we have the ability to handle the bookings, because that's what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And how many? Oh, maybe Alex is finding the video.
I think he is. Sorry, go on, Andrea.
Yes. So there are 40 units already. How many reservations are there? Because the first 10 units are going out for 120,000.
They are indeed.
Yes. So how many reservations do you have already, so that we know how much we have to hurry?
From Freedom so far, you have 6 reservations. So there are 4 reservations that are left. I might extend that slightly higher if there's a demand there. I think that obviously that's a discussion for Freedom to have with me at a later point.
Of course, I mean,
there are 4 units available at that price.
Okay, this is a very good thing to know. And what I can say about the vineyard and the area itself, I live 1 street further from that entrance, and it is a beautiful area. The way driving up there, it's very idyllic. You have a lot of old villas there. There are plants and trees and flowers everywhere. It's very narrow, partly going left and right. And then at a certain point, you just reach the top and you see the winery and you see the hotel, and you know that on the other side is going to be the Vineyard View. The views from there is stunning. Sitting up there, having the view over the vineyard, sitting there, having this nice glass of wine. And I've been there several times up there, and some other people on the call have been up there. It is an outstanding location up there. I really have to say, it's one of my favorite places here on the island. And the food is very, very good.
So we have to kick you out the wine bar every night, don't we?
This is not true.
Sorry, guys, but I can't manage to.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry.
So has anybody got any questions for me? Blessings has asked one question, which I hope I've answered, but if there's anybody else?
I've got a couple.
Yes, Vanessa.
Vanessa
please.
speaking from Zim.
Hi,
How
Vanessa.
are you? What a wonderful presentation. Thank you. It sounds extraordinary. I've been checking up online everything you've been saying, and it's true. But a couple of questions. Your 30% management, does that also include all the running costs of the gymnasium and the swimming pool and all that as well, or are there extra levies on top of that?
No, there are extra levies on top of that, because obviously at the moment the rental from the standard standard buyers, there's a maintenance fee that we've calculated at the moment of 120 per month.
Right. So that will be over and above the management fee.
That standard fee would be on there, the 30%, and the 30% is actually, again, we overestimated, and it's probably going to be nearer 25% on that one, Vanessa.
Thank you. My second question is,
Go on.
how far is it from the closest apartment to the actual entrance of the hotel? And is there any physical separation between the two?
There is. Basically, it's on a separate piece of land across a road. So the entrance to the actual vineyard property is a matter of 10 meters. It's the width of a road.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry.
10 meters.
10 meters. Okay.
Yes. It's the width of a road, Vanessa. Yeah, it's basically, we're on one side of the road, the hotel and the winery are on the other side of the road.
Thank you very much. And I've got a very final difficult question for you.
Oh, I like difficult questions. Go on.
Good. You'll like this one then. My question is, why are you actually selling these? Why don't you just as a hotel keep them yourselves and rent them out?
You know what? That's not a bad question at all. We could have invested and bought,
Exactly.
and just bought the land and built them as a hotel again. But in terms of the local area, you're then verging onto a super hotel, and the whole ethos of the hotel for it to be adult only luxury boutique. There's no such thing as a 200-room boutique hotel. It's sort of the idea of using it for the hotel solely did cross our minds, but it was actually discussions with some of the Freedom people in the early stages convinced us that there was probably a market to sell them. We've got the best of both worlds then. We've built it, we've sold it, but we're reusing that, we're renting that back from someone. We get our money is made in the hotel in terms of the catering, the food and beverage side. So if we can then get someone to eat at the restaurant, drink the wine, buy the wine, but they're staying in a property of someone else's, which we've still got control of, that's the best of both worlds.
Well, thank you very, very much. I'm looking forward to seeing it personally. Thank
Yes,
you.
No
Vanessa.
problem. Good question, by the way. Very
Bill?
good question.
Tony has the video ready, so Tony can share before we answer the rest of the questions. I see them in the chat, but Tony will share the screen and show us the video. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you,
Just
Tony,
one
for
point
sharing
quickly.
that.
Thanks, Tony. Just one point on there, which I think I missed on the presentation, is about the year-round appeal of the hotel. One of our busiest periods is actually the Christmas New Year period, and in terms of rental of the units, I think it extends rather than your 150, 200, and that window can be stretched because we're not based by the sea, we're in the mountains. It really is a 360 sort of day a year appeal for rental for the units.
Very good. Someone asked what's the reservation fee. So the reservation fee is £2,000 for each property, and at the moment this is refundable. So the reservation fee lasts for 4 weeks and it's refundable at the moment, but during that time you will get in touch, of course, with Bill, in that case, with
Yes.
Bill, and you will discuss everything with Bill, how you want your payments to be done, all the details you want to know. Everything is going to be answered. So if one of you is interested in the property in the vineyard, reach out to the person who brought you on the call and they will help you out with that. And I think Tony wants to say something because I see there is a question addressed to you. Did you see that?
I know, I think they're asking me, they're asking for daily rental income for renting the units again.
Yeah, it was for 1 bed, but please be aware in this project, we only have 2 beds available. And that was, yes, about the rental
Yeah, and
income,
I would say
daily rental income.
realistically, Andrew, we're looking at, it's going to be north of 120, I think, for a 2-bedroom attached to the hotel, where at the moment for a single hotel room, we're charging 140, 150 euros. For a 2-bedroom apartment, it's got to be 140, 150 euros for that as well.
Okay. And Vanessa is asking, when do you expect the project to be finished?
Well, it's a 2-year build process. So it's basically 2 years from now. We expect it to be finished.
When do you start? I mean, you flatten the land, right? You start making
Yeah,
space.
we've flattened the ground. All our visas are in place. All our permissions have been granted. We would have started last week, but it rained a hell of a lot last week, didn't it?
Yes.
So that sort of stopped us. We've marked out, or we're marking out at the moment. So we've already started, Andrew.
Okay, fantastic. So New Year's 2022.
Yeah, let's hope that 2022, 23, Christmas 22, we should be about finished about that time. In fact,
Fantastic.
just as a slight bit of information, which is quite pertinent to that, out of the 3,200 properties that we built, do you know how many we've been late on delivering?
0, I hope.
None.
Very good. So
Quite smug about that one.
Christmas 22 it is then. Very, very nice. Very nice. Do we have any more questions? I mean, you gave us so much explanation about the project, and it is fantastic. And I think you answered everything.
I hope so.
Yes. We are 1.5 hours now, almost. And you really answered a lot. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, everybody.
You will
Thank
see this
you.
recording tomorrow on tomorrow, latest after tomorrow. Dagfinn will upload it on the YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it. And if you're interested, as I said, reach out to the person who brought you on the call. And I see you next Monday evening again. And I wish everyone a nice weekend. And thank you for
Thank you
joining.
very much. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
joining us.
See you
Take
soon.
care. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Alex. Bye.